Standing up for yourself versus defending yourself. Sometimes these two get confused, or sometimes these two, we see it as the same, but it's certainly not the same. Yeah, standing up for yourself, finding yourself important enough to either make your point or ask for help or ask for money, or when somebody steals your idea, speak up, stand up, and say it's yours. But every now and then, maybe often, we tend to defend ourselves based on emotion, and from that emotion respond by defending ourselves. And defending ourselves is never, 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 never about a situation or another person. Defending yourself is always about you. And that's really annoying, because sometimes you can be so convinced that it's the other person's problem or it's the behavior of someone else. And even though someone else's behavior will never be your behavior, your way of behaving or acting, but still, it is yours. Let me give you an example from someone following the program currently. She's brilliant, a brilliant woman, very intelligent. She knows what she wants. She has a big vision for the world, and she has the guts to, the courage to go. And what happened? She's implemented something within her organization, a big corporate, about sustainability, and it took her 3 years. She got the freedom to do it because people believed her vision, believed her capacities to also implement. And now she's part of a team, and now she's kind of stuck reporting to a manager that only sees a small picture. And if you're somebody who only basically sees a big picture, you don't have to talk long to figure out there is no match. So what she wants is what she's done. She wants it on paper. So it's actually not just a story, not just a new team, but that she was actually responsible for what she's achieved. And instead, her manager, I think now 6 months or so, whatever, doesn't matter, is only about, okay, what tasks are you going to do? Now, if you give a visionary tasks to do, the visionary goes crazy, but the manager also goes crazy. So they're not a match, totally. She's not on the right spot, but she knows that already. But her journey, often, every time they had a lot of meetings already. They had a lot of meetings about this already, and every time they would talk about it, the manager goes with the tiny bits, and she's like, what she makes up in her head, and that's not right or wrong. There is no judgment here, but what happens in her system, maybe that's a better way to say it. What happens within her, inside her, is that she hears somebody saying that she's not capable enough. And her way of responding to that is proving that she is capable enough. So many of these conversations, they've led to nothing, totally nothing, because it was always the same story. Small, narrow-minded tasks. And she has a vision for the world. She's not done yet. And she hears the tiny tasks, and she hears those are not exact words, but what she hears is, okay, somebody doesn't find me good enough, so I need to prove I'm good. And what do you do when you feel the need to prove yourself good, to prove the other person wrong, or to prove yourself right. You start defending yourself. Defending. So that was always the manager. Of course, I'm never there when those conversations are, but the manager is saying something and she experiences what the manager says as an attack. That's her. That's it, whatever the manager says. And of course, in some cases, it can actually be like that, but then it's still up to you whether you see the reaction of someone else as an attack or as words, an opinion from the other person. And where is she now? Like, let's say around 3 months in the program, and this is still going on. She's moving in other directions, but this is still going on because she still has this position there in the team. And she looks at it different. She understands what's happening. We figured it out that, okay, if you have somebody looking really narrow, if you have a vision, you can see everything. You see everything very far ahead. You don't have to know the route, but you see it. You see things happening. You see things changing. But if you're leaning towards micromanagement, you don't see vision. You just see, like, I guess, a full list of tasks that had to be done. And it would be nice then if it's going to be done your way. So they are not a match. And at a certain point, you realize that this is not my long-term place. I still want something, so I need this person for what I want. But constantly defending myself, and then, of course, when you defend yourself, you also get a certain response from the other person. Constantly defending yourself doesn't get her to where she wants to be. And once she realized that, and she realized that she's completely different from her manager, and the other way around, of course, both of them. And so she doesn't see it as a defense. She doesn't feel the need to defend herself anymore because, and this is always coming from somewhere like old. And by old, I mean from when you were a kid. You've been most probably then in situations, I've been there. If you listen to my past like 5-6 podcasts, you have a lot of, you know, a lot more about me than me just sharing my knowledge about positioning yourself and selling yourself. But yeah, she knew when I asked her, so what it, because at a certain point she was again explaining a situation. It's the same story. It's always the same story. Same person, same subject of the meeting, same result. So that was the story of the past months, which is really annoying because it doesn't get you anywhere. And it gave her sleepless nights and a lot of irritation and a lot of energy leaking away down the drain. Not even leaking, it's going down like water in a bathtub. And she realized at a certain point, for her, from her childhood, it's very important that people find her good. She was trying always very hard that people would find her, would see her as someone being good enough. And every time she was talking with this person, she had a feeling that she wasn't found be seen as good enough. And because of that, there was like an instant emotion, like, okay, I'm not good enough. Okay, so I need to do my best. I need to work harder. I need to work harder. I need to find more proof to show that I am good enough. And once she realized that she was doing exactly that, she was like, oh, but if I want this from this person in, I don't know, the months that we still, I still report to this manager. If I want this and I behave like that, it's not going to work. And beside the fact it's not going to work, it costs so much energy. Every time one of these meetings was in her agenda, it was already a red flag. And that's not a fun way of working. It's not a fun way of living. So once she realized that there is nothing to prove anymore, either the person has seen it already, or the person is not capable of seeing, or doesn't want to see. It doesn't matter what the other person's reason is not to see how brilliant she is. You can have many reasons not to see someone's brilliance, and all those reasons are yours or mine. And once she realized that, she realized, oh, I don't need to prove myself anymore. I don't need to prove myself anymore. And once this was taken away, exactly this part was taken away, she could just focus on, okay, I want this one thing, and I need this person to get what I want. So instead of feeling attacked, I stand up for myself in a complete different way. Standing up is not defending myself. Standing up for myself is realizing crystal clear, this is what I want. This is how I need to act. This is how I need to feel. This is how my energy should be during that meeting. And standing up for myself has nothing to do with defending myself, proving myself right, whatever you or your ego makes out of it, because it's the ego that protects us with every fiber in his body. And yeah, now she's doing different, and there is no results yet because this shift just happened, but results will be there, no doubt about that. But the biggest result that she got already is that there is no more energy leaks. She's in control. She's in charge. She knows what she wants. She knows how to behave. She knows what to do to stand up for herself and get what she wants. So yeah, there is a big, huge difference between defending yourself and standing up for yourself. Defending yourself, it's both of them. It is about you, but when you feel the need to defend yourself, you make it. You focus too much on the other person. You focus too much on the other person. Often we blame the other person, but there is no one to blame. It's not even you to blame. You know, if you feel the need to defend yourself, there is something inside you that doesn't want to, that's either hurt or it's vulnerable, and the outside world should not see that, and the outside world doesn't have to see it. But your primary response to defend yourself, usually you feel also an emotion if you recognize yourself in this story, in this example. But defending yourself it's all about you. It's all about you. And once you notice, once you figure out why you do it, it's so much easier to change defending yourself in standing up for yourself and actually come up with a strategy that actually works instead of just defending yourself. Thank you for listening. Hope it was insightful for you. Please let me know if there is an insight you've picked up from this episode. I really appreciate it. And thanks a lot, and go have fun, especially in those meetings where you usually feel the need to defend yourself.